Welcome back to Vegas Live with Ninon. I'm Ninon, your host. And you know where we are. We're at Mariposa, and we're in Las Vegas, and it's on the corner of Sahara and I don't know what is, just Decatur or something like
Sahara
that.
Decatur, that's correct.
Am I okay?
You're great.
And this
You're
is
amazing.
Troy.
How are you?
Troy, how are you?
Good to see you, beautiful.
It's
Happy
good
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to
And
you as well.
thank you so much for your hospitality. And number two,
Wow.
you know what makes your show great
Wow.
is it's only half of the client, but it's more the interviewer. So thank you for
Oh,
having
isn't
me.
that sweet?
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Absolutely. There's a lot of reasons why I have all the different guests I have on, and every single one of them has a story. So don't forget, behind every face, there is a story. Whatever that story is, it's important about them.
Yes.
And it is important.
It is.
We are all individuals. I just wish more people out there would like themselves.
I know. You know, some people have a complex about, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. But you know
Yes.
what? You can do all things in Christ who strengthens you.
Absolutely.
Philippians 4:13. Absolutely.
But you have to like yourself. And I always say the greatest place to, and I don't know if you ever do this, but I always thought that if you go into your bedroom is supposed to be the tranquil place of your whole
Where
place.
you can shut down and relax.
Yeah, just sit. Just sit on your
Exactly.
bed and say, well, I've got nothing to think about. Well, that's the idea. That's the idea. Think about nothing.
Right.
Just put yourself into a place and start thinking all the good things you've done, not the bad things.
It's
And the
been-
reason I bring that up is because this gentleman, Troy, has been through, you were homeless. We'll start with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you were homeless he was homeless for a reason about Vegas, but not only Vegas now.
Right, and the reason is because, like everything else in Las Vegas, when you live in Las Vegas, some of the profession is you can be a professional gambler. So I tried my hand at gambling as soon as I turned 21, and guess what? I went from being broke to living in my car to couch hopping because I could not wait to get paid because that meant I had money to go to a casino.
As soon as you had the money.
I was going to hit the big one. And my thing was craps and blackjack, and it destroyed me. You know,
Well,
it destroyed me.
craps is, 7-Eleven. It's like, roll the dice and what happens.
And I got to where I became a good liar, and I always
You became a cheater, a liar.
No, I ended up staying in my vehicle for a little while. But you know what happens in Nevada when you don't pay your insurance and you get pulled over?
Then you take the car.
So I was in Lake Tahoe at the time, so I had a key to the lockers. So I was staying in and out of the locker rooms at night before the ski crew would come in the morning. So I kind of had a system, but
So you worked all this out
yes.
so that you could gamble.
Oh yeah, I had a system, which meant I was broke.
He had a system where he was always going to make that
Always,
money.
yeah.
You were always going to have that
And
extra.
it was like a demon around my neck. You know, it just had a hold of me.
How do you think that
And,
got a hold of you? How does that exactly happen?
Money. I could see and I could hear the stories about people hitting the mega bucks and doing.
That's
what's
all
called
you
the
listened to. You didn't listen to the people that lost.
Oh no,
You
I
didn't
listened. I listened to the one or two winners that happened to get lucky.
So it is just
You
one
know,
or two winners.
yeah.
It
And I
truly
was
is.
not lucky. Actually, I wasn't lucky at all. But it taught me a lesson to listen to people that really care about you when they give you advice.
And
you
did you
gotta
start
take it.
having that? Was that
Yeah.
becoming part of your life of starting to break you from gambling? How did you break yourself?
Well, I made a deal with Christ. I said, Christ, if you can rescue me and get me out of this, then I'll work for your kingdom here on earth. And so He rescued me. I got to the point where I just stopped gambling completely, and He told me to go back and feed my sheep. So from my experience of having an addiction
Yes.
and having no place to lay my head at night, I was equipped for the journey in the mission field that He called me into right here in Las Vegas.
So now the story has totally changed, and it's an amazing story. So you go to church a lot, but rather than going to church a lot, you pray a lot every day.
Every day.
Which means that you don't have to always be in church, and church is not the real. It is the real thing, yes, but you don't always have to go to church to cure yourself or to help other people or do anything, correct?
No, that's correct. You don't have to go to a church to be a believer in Christ. It's a relationship in your heart
That you have.
that I have
you
with
personally
Jesus
have.
Christ, and that transformed my heart. Because I can go to church and not pay attention to what's going on and listen to the people around me or not even hear the message and just check that box off of churchianity because I went to church. But it's a relationship with Jesus Christ.
But you have every day, 24 hours a day.
Every day.
You have them 24 hours a day.
And you know what's cool about being single is people say, how do you be single? I'm like, I'm not single. I'm in a great relationship with
It's
Jesus
funny
Christ.
you should say that because I was thinking that I'm never alone.
Never.
I'm never alone. Even if I'm alone, basically, I'm alone in my
Right.
house. But I'm not alone
Right.
because I've got, Jesus.
And you got
up
people
there.
that love you and care about you
Yeah.
legitimately that will call you,
Yes, yes.
even when you're
And
not
we
in
all
the
have
studio.
that.
Yes, yes.
But we have to create that too, though.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that don't have friends. A lot of people, but you've got to give a little. If you give a little, you get a little back.
Right, and you have to create that environment for yourself. You can't be a Christian staying at home.
No.
You got to get out and do the community part.
Especially if you're
Yes.
one that has changed completely, which you have.
Yes, completely.
You've changed completely, so you can spread that message out there that it works.
Yes, absolutely.
But you don't
And
have to go to church if you don't want to.
right, because I'm a living testimony of it. I mean, I'm about, my walk with Christ isn't part-time. Neither was his ministry here on earth for the 3.5 years that he walked amongst the lost, the broken, the hurting, the sad, the depressed, and those that had no hope. Just to be present with them and to love on them. And so that's a relationship that I choose to have with him. And I get to exude that with people that I come in contact with every single
And
day.
you know who's interested about it or who isn't, and you know when to keep talking.
It's called discernment.
And you know when to drop the subject completely because
Right.
they're not paying attention to you.
Right.
Now, you are doing an awful lot in City Hall with the mayor and everything. You just got honoured by the mayor, didn't you? He's got lots of stuff going on. So
it was an ordination at City Hall Council Chambers, December 2nd. And of course, the mayor had prior events going on, but I've been working with the mayor in what's called the Mayor's Faith Initiative since 2014, to where she has handpicked spiritual leaders in the community to go out into the community through education, fatherlessness, homelessness, and to create an environment where, because she realized the greatest hospital that's in every single community, not just in Las Vegas but around the world, is what? It's a church. The church. People go to church because it's a hospital. And so anyway,
that is true because it mends you. It might not physically have all the instruments. That's not what I had.
Right. So I started working with her, and I was appointed to be over the homeless. We do things like hydrating the homeless, and I go above and beyond that because for me, in order to get to know somebody's story, I got to become their friend.
Yes.
So I have to walk.
But you have to be their friend first.
Right.
And then
I can't just walk up to somebody and say, you know what, I got a card. I'm going to help you. Give me a call. I have to build a relationship so they can trust me.
Number one, a homeless is not going to give you a call.
No. And because no matter what avenue or they have taken to get to where they're at in their life, they're there.
Yes.
And Christ called me to go back into the mission field and build relationships with them so I can get to know them and find out what they need and help them, because through the Mayor's Faith Initiative, we have services through Clark County Social Services, the City of Las Vegas, first responders, for-profits and nonprofits, where if somebody calls me and says, I need this, A, B, and C, I can connect them immediately.
With any one of those,
exactly.
Or even you can go in
and that
yourself.
helps to build their foundation, to where they can start to get their life back
now,
together.
I had another young lady on, and I was quoting that there was 16, maybe 17, maybe 15,000 homeless young people in Nevada, mostly in Vegas. Is that true?
It's more, well, we do a census count, and what's coming up at the end of the month, where we go out in teams and we actually count the homeless. And some people, even though they may be homeless, they might be living in their car or at work. So
under the tunnels.
Right, exactly. So we do the best we can, but it's upwards of 3,000 to 4,000 official homeless in Clark County alone. And that allows us to go back to the federal government and ask for a specific amount of money
to take care
of the issue.
But there's also a lot of homeless people, especially the young children. They don't like to admit they're homeless, and the reason the children don't like to admit they're homeless is because some of them do go to school.
Right.
But they don't want to.
They get straight A's.
Huh?
They get straight A's.
That's right.
It's amazing.
But they do. But they don't want to tell people, other children, that they're homeless because then they're going to get picked on.
Right.
And, children are very cruel. They sort of,
Because when I was in high school, I was cool, and I got no
problems. I bet you were a cool dude. I
got no problems. But people, when the teacher asks people what they want to be in school, and they raise their hand because they want to be the president, a senator, a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, a teacher, corporate CEO, no one ever says that they want to be addicted, homeless.
It just
it's
sad. Does it kind of? I mean, I don't know, but does that kind of happen as a weakness, or does it happen as an escape?
It's two things. It's I've got this, and it's also they're ashamed.
Ashamed of themselves?
Not necessarily themselves, but of what people are going to say and how they're going to be judged, especially in school.
School is really very, very
Hey,
cruel.
loser. you want some food? You home? You know,
You can't sit at our table.
No,
You can't.
unfortunately, people are rude like that. Not all of them, but
that's school. That's
you know,
children. That's people.
and God's called me back in the mission field right here in Las Vegas to go out into the street and build relationships. And I love what I do. I've never taken a penny, from anybody I've ever helped. You know why? Because God provides. I've got no money, but I've got transitional housing. I've got no money, but I can get you a bus pass for a month. I got no money, but I can get you a free haircut and a suit for your job interview.
So you're doing everything. So you're actually totally giving out to everybody.
Completely.
Now, did I may be mistaken, but I think eBay, didn't eBay?
Yeah.
eBay, I have to mention this because we hear a lot about eBay of dissatisfaction of their company sometimes, of what goes on and what happens. So I want to present something that's a little different, that's actually helping you, what you want to do. And what is this eBay thing? It's the son actually of eBay.
So I was doing some inspections for the property manager of a beautiful property in Las Vegas, a big spread, Tacoma Village. And so at the ordination at City Hall, December 2nd, the property manager, quote unquote, came to be a part of it. Well, he's not the property manager. He's very connected. He's extremely connected. He's part of the family. And he's like, I like what you do. He goes, we've done our homework. He was at the ordination.
Yes.
And he's like, we want to partner with you so we can really do some cool things for our inner city youth, our at-risk families and youth, and our homeless. And I said, this is awesome. That's how God works. It's great.
And so he wants to help you in everything.
Yep.
So what is your next? You've obviously got things within yourself that you feel you want to do for Vegas, because you're living in Vegas now.
Sure, my home.
And this is your home. And this is, where are you going? What is in your mind of what you really want to make a difference and how you can make that difference?
Well, I want to make my city better today than it was yesterday, and a whole lot better tomorrow than it was today, because part of doing that isn't the beautiful life down the strip, because we're known around the world as Sin City. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Well, it doesn't anymore.
But I call Las Vegas Sin City, but I also call it Saint City.
Playground. It's a big playground.
It is. And you got to realize, an eighth mile from the beautiful, most glamorous strip in the world for families, houses, schools, shopping centers.
And it's become bigger and bigger, hasn't it?
And so there's a community here of people, even though you see what's happening on the strip, there's families here. And I want to create an environment, a healthy environment, where we can not just uplift those that are homeless and at risk, but create a vibrant, healthy community. And I've been doing it for a long, long time, and I've been able to make some very, very good friends at City Hall. And I got to meet people like you and your team. You're amazing. We love you very much. And so this is where we're going. We're going to get started, and we're going to hit the ground running.
Well, hopefully what I do, if you don't know what Vegas Live with Ninon does, I'll explain it. We actually help anybody that comes on our set. We help them by putting them out there so they can talk about what they're doing. Just like Troy is talking about what he does. He doesn't get paid for it, but he does it all from his heart. But he learned, and you did learn. You learned from your mistakes and the things you did and the things you can gamble at any state, any place in the entire world. I know that because I had a husband that gambled. But he wasn't addicted the way you were. Fortunately, we still kept the house and the car and the dogs. We didn't sell our dogs.
Thank God.
My beautiful dogs. But so what we do is we help other people out there. Whether you're in the music business, whether you're a singer, it doesn't matter what you are. Business doesn't matter. No, and it doesn't matter because we need to help people, especially now in this day and age.
Exactly.
I think we need to help
people.
Yeah, crazy times we're living in.
Yeah.
So, I know the rich are getting richer. We've never had so many millionaires and billionaires. We used to be able to count them. I mean, I can't even count them anymore.
Not your neighbor.
No, you can't count them anymore.
With this COVID thing, we didn't want it, we didn't ask for it, we didn't pray for it, and here it is. So we're having to try to navigate and deal with this COVID thing, and we're doing the best we can. But
don't you think we've all done well?
Well, we've done very well comparatively. Absolutely,
we've done extremely well. It's amazing what the human being can do. It's amazing how we
adapt.
We adapt and we survive. Absolutely. I think it's brought a lot of us closer. I also think it's opened up a lot of our minds of doing something different rather than going to the office all the time, which we're having a problem because we've got a lot of people that come. A lot of people are at home now, they're doing their stuff at home, and they're not going to an office job. And I don't want to go to an office job anymore, so it's become a problem. But, but it's all... So what is your next step, Troy?
Well, my next step is I partner with some really cool people starting a nonprofit. It's called 702 Reach. And what we're going to do is we're going to create an environment where somebody can call us with rental assistance, car payment, whatever it may be, and we want to be able to respond within 24 hours to help that individual. We're not going to be welfare. We're not going to be a handout. We're going to be a hand up. We're going to help people and create a healthy environment where they can become self-sustainable.
In other words, you're not going to give them the money, but you might pay the car payment.
Exactly.
Yes, it's funny
Or the
because I
rent,
did
yeah.
that. I did that with when I had a foundation. It's called Kids Talk. I never gave any of the family the money.
Right.
But I would pay for their
Sure.
education, but it would go directly to work because I was afraid what happened to the money. I'd pay the
No,
rent
you
or do
can't.
something.
But by the way, my car payment's due. Can we talk afterwards?
Yes,
Please,
yeah.
God. Just kidding.
But no, so you take care of that, and then you
Yes.
help them along their
Yes.
way and
Yeah.
whatever.
What we want to do right next is I want to partner with UNLV, which we did at 21st and Sunrise,
Okay.
and give away 30 scholarships to inner city at-risk youth who are doing well in school but don't
I was going to say with
don't
the ones
have
that are,
that
that
next
money.
ability to take that next step, where we can come in and say, you're doing really well, and we'd like to offer you scholarships.
Because that's what I did with my Kids Talk thing. I did it for Loyola
so
Marymount
cool.
University, and I used to give away
And
scholarships.
it's so
and
unexpected, but these kids
Yeah.
are so grateful, and UNLV has been a huge
And
partner.
you
and
are giving them the opportunity to have an education,
Absolutely.
just because they came from a family that doesn't have as much money, or they can't get, they can't go to university,
Yeah.
or they can't go to college. So you give them that.
Right, there are people that we've dealt with in the inner city where we'll go to their house and they don't get food because they don't have power, they don't have refrigeration.
So you'll pay their electric bill.
Well, yeah,
you'll-
or we'll connect them with a reduced rate because of their income. There's
Yes.
a whole host of things that we do that we come alongside those who are struggling and really just help them.
And just help them out
Love
there.
it.
So how can anybody reach you?
Well, you can get a hold of me at troyoglesbee@yahoo.com. It's TROYOGLESBEE@yahoo.com. Text me, let me know what's going on. Let's connect. Let me buy you a coffee. Love to meet you. And again, thank you so much, Ninon. You're
Thank
amazing.
you, Troy.
I love my city. I want to be a part of it, not just so I can say I live in Las Vegas, but I want to be part of the change. So God bless you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
very
I
much.
will enjoy this.
Isn't he amazing? Troy is just amazing. We should have more people out there, but we really do have a lot of people like Troy out there. But I was lucky enough to get him on my show, thanks to Terry Arnold.
I was
invited
the
you.
lucky one, the blessed one. I've heard a lot about you. You're amazing, and thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Keep going. Keep doing
I'll
what you
keep
do.
doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I'll keep doing what I'm doing. See, look, I got double exposure.
That's
I love
right.
it. I love every bit. Thank you for watching, and we'll be right back with our next guest.